I think one of the great skill sets of great leaders is oration and speak in public and have that magic of speaking. There are many orators been talked about in the past, and one of them is Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
We talk about. There are many of those speakers, and have you observed and are there any role models you look up to in terms of the way they present, the way they construct the idea, and the way they deliver a thought?
Yes, there are. Some are controversial.
Happy with that?
So I will explain. Let me start with the controversial.
Yes, do.
And I'm going to create a caveat here by saying I don't endorse these people for their views or ideas. What I enjoyed is how they speak. So one, Scott Morrison, I watched him speak at Crown. He was brilliant. The way he held the room, the way he controlled the flow of information, fantastic. Michelle Obama, I think she's a better orator than Barack Obama because of the way she controls the flow of information. Her pronunciation, her inflection is terrific. And a person who the younger generation would be more familiar with is The Diary of a CEO, Steve Bartlett.
Yeah.
When we watch him in his interviews and the way he presents his questions, I would put him at a pace of 150 to 160 words a minute, which is a more faster conversational pace. However, there's a deliberate thought, and you can see the mechanics of the thought occurring in his mind before the sentence is placed. So there's three examples of a person I don't endorse to people I think are worth following.
Could you
I
also
hope that makes sense.
No,
the
it's very
distinction.
much. Let's start with the last one, Steve Bartlett. He has longer form questions.
Yes.
He speaks faster.
Yes.
But it's a one-to-one conversation.
Yeah.
So in a one-to-one conversation versus one-to-many, which is Scott Morrison, which you talked about.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between, in terms of the delivery, what you think, and the content?
Yeah.
And because as you are listening to Steve, you've been listening to him for long, you understand his brain, the way he works. So you can engage with the idea of the mechanics of the brain delivering the thought. Whereas with Scott, you might not have seen him speak that often. So, one-to-many versus one-to-one, what structure works? What do you think?
This is the one-to-one where in order to be a clear orator in a one-to-one, we need to be a clear listener. You do that. You don't have a script, you're listening, and you're building a segue of the responses which I'm delivering. Even if I haven't answered your question in its entirety, you'll still build a segue of it to the next question. Steve Bartlett does that too. However, that's a skill which you have built over time. A one-to-many, we're not there to listen to what the audience says. We're there to listen to how it feels. And we respond to the feeling with gestures, nonverbal communication, change in pace, change in tone, eye contact around the room. So the mechanics of delivery are different. This is firm eye contact, with one person. You can't do that in a room of 500.